Okay, shall we go ahead, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let me know when should I start. Like,
We'll just have an introduction.
Some introduction, welcome speech, followed by it will be handed over to you, Rahul.
okay.
Good morning, everyone. We'll start the session. Before we start the session, a quick reminder to all the participants to not unmute the audio or share video or personal screens during the session. Thank you. So very good morning to one and all. Respected Principal Dr. CPS Prakash, honorable dignitaries, industry colleagues, faculty members, participants, coordinators, and my dear students. I, Dr. Deepakar, take immense pleasure to welcome every delegate and extend the warmest welcome to all of you for 9th day of AI Conclave 2020 on behalf of Department of Management Studies, Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering. A picture is worth 1,000 words, said Frederick R. Bernard in 1921. It's been almost 10 years later, Bernard's statement has, if anything, become more true. Today's world is one of data. Thanks to the rise of computing and the internet, we now generate more information than ever before. What's more important is this information is relatively easy to record and analyze, allowing us to gain the sort of insights that would seem impossible just a few decades ago. So visuals are both easier to understand and will provide a more compelling argument. But how does this translate into the world of business? According to Wharton School of Business Study, they found that the use of data visualization could shorten business meeting by 24%. Managers in organizations with the visual data recovery tools are 28% more likely to find timely information than those who rely on managed reporting and dashboards. Thus, it is not too late to embrace this opportunity to understand data visualization in business. So now I request our beloved head of the department, Dr. KG Hemlata, Department of Management Studies, to welcome the gathering.
Yeah. Good morning, Principal. Today's guest, Rahul Kumar, scientist, data scientist, Ericsson and R&D. My dear faculty member and students, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's events. As Deepak mentioned, like data visualization is very much required in each and everyone's life. When you present about some of the details, because of increasing population and the data, we are talking in terms of like everything in more numbers. So how to arrive at a solution or take a decision that becomes everyone's everyday's affair. So we are so happy to provide today data visualization by using Power BI. So we have with us today Mr. Rahul Kumar to talk about the topic Power BI. I welcome on behalf of Department of Management Studies, the Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering. Thank you very much, Rahul Kumar, for accepting an invitation to give us sessions on Power BI. At the same time, I'll welcome you. I welcome all the students, faculty member, and all the dignitaries to today's event. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we can go ahead with Mr. Rahul Kumar's session, I've just got an introduction to Mr. Rahul Kumar. So, with over 10 years of experience, Mr. Rahul Kumar is the data scientist with 7.5 years of experience using predictive modeling, data processing, and data mining algorithms to solve challenging business problems. And he is very passionate about deep learning. Rahul Kumar started his career as a software engineering analyst at Accenture, then as consultant data science in Capgemini, and as a senior engineer data science in Robert Bosch Engineering and Business Solutions Private Limited. Currently, he is the data scientist with Ericsson, working on energy-based optimization of network. Mr. Rahul Kumar specializes in techniques to handle imbalanced class problems, time series analysis, pattern mining for time series casualty based problems. He has solid understanding and experience on deep learning based methodologies to solve predictive problems. He has performed in-depth detailed regression analysis techniques like extra sum of squares, feature selection, marginal residual analysis for linearity check, influential and leverage points detection using hat matrix and press residual techniques. Mr. Rahul Kumar completed his bachelor's degree in electrical, electronics and communications engineering from SRM University. So without further ado, I request Mr. Rahul Kumar to address the gathering.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. So yeah, for today topic is like Power BI, which is a kind of visualization tool which focus on visualization. So we'll start with like what are the salient features of Power BI and like how it helps out people to visualize or like to dig deep into the data. So we start with a question like why Power BI. So there are uh, different tools are also like other than Power BI for visualization, but why Power BI? So like Power BI, it's like helps in different kind of things. Like it helps you to analyze your data with regard to machine learning. You can integrate it you can integrate this with your machine learning applications. You can integrate like it helps in mobility also, like you can have this visualization uh, platform on your like desktop or like on your mobile or wherever you are traveling, and you can access your mobile and uh, try to like dig things deep. And other feature is like advanced analytics, like it helps you to do some kind of advanced analytics also. And other feature is like corona integration. You would have heard about Siri, right? Like so Cortana integration is similar to like Cortana is similar to Siri. So it directly integrate with the Cortana. So this is one of the very bright features of Power BI. uh, Other than that, it is like the cost, it is on like talking about the cost front, like it is not very costly, it is very on low front cost. And it provides you a feature of APIs integration also. Suppose you have a kind of application running on your on-premise service, and you wanted to integrate a kind of report which is already published in Power BI services or some Power BI service. So you wanted to integrate it onto your custom application so that you can do it easily. And other thing is like it's very user-friendly self-service tool. It's not like very complicated tool. You can I'll show you whatever things like. So you will feel like it's not a very complicated tool, it's like a very light-handed tool, and you can learn it very quickly, and you can use it based on your use cases. So yeah, so what is Power BI then? Like so it helps you like it has kind of four big diagrams, you can say, like the aggregation, analyzing, visualizing and sharing data. Like first what you do is like aggregate your data, because aggregating your data is like kind of summarizing your data. Like you have a lot of rows and a lot of columns as a kind of information. So you, because while reading all those rows and columns, it doesn't make sense. So what you do is like aggregate data, so that you can just arrive at some very salient features of the data or kind of very informative features of the data. So that's why you do aggregation. And once you aggregate, you analyze those things, like whatever the results come out of aggregation, you try to analyze it. And after that, you try to visualize it through different visualization widgets. And once you visualize, you wanted to share with your colleagues or your teams or your enterprise. So that's what you can do easily through Power BI. So yeah, so what kind of people use Power BI? So normally developers use Power BI, subject matter experts also use, IT professional and business analysts. These four people, these four kind of verticals use Power BI most of the times. Like so what developers do is like if you have a kind of requirement to develop reports, so that's what developer try to do. Subject matter experts try to slice and dice information from some part of the data, so that also they can do it very easily because it is a very user friendly. I just need to drag and drop things out and try to visualize based on different dimensions whatever they wanted to see. So business analysts also in the same manner, they also use these things. So it's like it's for both technical and non-technical people. It's not only for technical people, like only like developer would use Power BI, and it's not like that. Everybody can use it based upon their requirement. So yeah, if anybody have some question also, yeah, they can like let me know. So yeah, so moving ahead, like with the components of the Power BI. So what are the like what is the architecture of Power BI? How it is built by Microsoft? So there are like very important components are like Power Query, Power Pivot, these Power View, and Power Map. So what is Power Query? Power Query is a kind of component, or you can call it an engine. Like what it does is like try to import data into Power BI. So because if you want to do something out of the data, you need to first like import it. You need to first like to store it somewhere, right? So that's what Power Query does. It's like you have some source of data. What you do is like try to fetch it on first to the Power BI, and once this is done through Power Query. And what Power Pivot is like, because see, once you talk about uh, visualization or these kind of things, you need to be aware of modeling, like modeling your data. That is the most important part of the visualization, or you can say like or your data warehouse architecture. Because without structuring your data, without modeling your data, you cannot be arriving at a good visualization platform. Like so that's what Power Pivot is. Nothing but it's a kind of it's a kind of data modeling engine. What it does is like it creates your data model out of your data. Suppose you have different kind of tables or different kind of sources. So what is the relationship between those sources or those tables? So you need to detect it. You need to like even if it is not detected, then you need to like model it in such a way that your visualization becomes easy or compatible with that. So that's what Power Pivot is for. Power View is like for visualization purpose of different widgets. Like you can integrate different kind of widgets or in the Power BI. So that is a component you basically used for this purpose. Power Map is for like locating your location. So this is a kind of very interesting feature, like which allows you what to do. Like if you have a kind of data which is having like latitude and longitude kind of, or you can tell it like spatial data. So visualizing your spatial data is only being done through Power Map. So you can directly view your spatial data on the maps itself directly. So yeah, another components are like services, Q&A, data management gateway, and catalog. So this services is kind of an on-cloud platform. Like what see basically there are two things. One, once you develop your report or once you develop your visualization, what you do is like you need to publish somewhere. Like so that is a Power BI service which is placed in the cloud. So you publish your report or you publish your dashboard, whatever, to the service, and from there you can share it onwards to your team members, to your groups or whatever. So that is that component. And see, this Q&A is very interesting component. It's like you basically used for NLP based application. So what you can do is you can type some query related to your corpus. The corpus is like you have, suppose you have a data or you have a kind of wiki of very large documents, and you wanted to ask some question, or you wanted to retrieve some answers out of that wiki or out of those documents. So you can do it through this Q&A component in Power BI. So yeah, moving from that is like data management gateway. It is also very important to like uh, use, because see all the time what happens is like you work on your some kind of server where you create this kind of reports or whatever. So but you have to publish it to cloud or on-premise services. So uh, so to connect those two environments, or because normally what happens is like you have to refresh your data every time. That's how your report or visualization will get updated, right? So how this is possible if you're working with two different two different uh, what do you call that, two different environments. Yeah. So so if you're working with two different environments, then what happens is like you need to establish some kind of connection or some kind of trust, right? Like so that these environments get connected and there is swift flow of information. So that is only possible through data management gateway. So wherever you are developing reports, you have to install this data management gateway there, so that it can be easily the refresh can be easily done using this data management gateway. If you don't install it, or if you don't install this component, what happens, you will not be able to refresh your report at services or on-premise servers wherever you have installed this Power BI component. So, so how you develop the reports, first of all, like the development is done through Power BI desktop. This is the component, or this is the, you can call it a kind of IDE. So normally you develop things in like Python, or so you use different kind of IDs, right? Like for the development. So here this kind of development is only done through Power BI desktop. So what you have to do is you have to install your Power BI desktop in a system. It will be like this. Like suppose I have installed here. Let me show. So see, this is a kind of app. Once you install it, so this will look like this. So you have to open it, and then you have to start doing the development things. So I've just opened one of the things. So that's how it looks like once you see this Power BI desktop. So this is your development area, or development, what do you call, ground, to do whatever the things you wanted to do. So I will show you what are the main components, as I discussed, right? Like the components here, these important components like this: Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. So I will show you like what are the contribution there, like where it is being used out and all. So I'll show you that. So yeah, so Power BI desktop, where you do development. So now what, like how Power BI desktop is being like architectured or modeled. And yeah, before talking to this, I just wanted to give an overview, like how Microsoft has been arrived at this situation to develop this Power BI desktop. Because earlier Microsoft already has a kind of MSBI stack. They have SSIS, they have SSAS, they have SSRS. If you've heard about it, I don't know, but yeah, so that stack is completely used for business intelligence. And you can compare Power BI desktop architecture also with respect to SSAS, the analysis services of Microsoft. But the only difference between this architecture and that is like Power BI desktop is not being used for a large scale development. It is being used for a kind of small scale development, as compared to SSAS. SSAS can handle a lot of data, and it can do a lot of aggregation and create a lot of measures. But this is not being achieved through, like Power BI has this kind of limitation. You cannot expect Power BI to like import a kind of terabytes of data and all those stuff, right? Like you cannot imagine that. So yeah, this is a kind of but the inside architecture is a kind of same, which is having SSAS. Because SSAS, the technology is like uh, it is like it is a kind of in-memory computation technology. So like what they have done is like, instead of storing your complete data as a form of rows, like a row store, they have converted into column store technique. So they are using column store technique to store your data, and on top of that column store technique, they try to do different kind of analytics on. And it helps, because column store, if you wanted to read it, you can read it. Like column store technology is just built for analytics purpose. It store the columnar it store the data as a columnar format, and it compresses it. And now whatever analytic query you fired out, it directly pinpoint to that column store databases, and then it retrieves your results with very fast results, or fast response, you can say. So the same kind of technology is also used in Power BI, the column store format with in-memory computation. So that way it is very fast. So even if you have a lot of data, or like a kind of the responses are very good. Like the responses are not like very latent. it has a low latency kind of responses, and that is the main idea behind it, like using column store and in-memory computation. So that is what it is called X velocity engine in Power BI. So the X velocity engine, it has the same thing, or you can say has the same concept of uh, uh, this in-memory computation and the columnar store format. So yeah, so let's move to this workflow of Power BI desktop, like how how the complete workflow happens. Like, so you have a source data. So what you will do, you will import your source data to this development Power BI desktop. So how you can do it, like what you do is like you do kind of data preparation, like, yeah, so you import the data, and what you do is like, oh, you wanted to do some kind of transformation on the source data itself, like you wanted to add some columns, you wanted to add some logic or some kind of things, or some kind of trimming, or different kind of transformations are there, right, you wanted to do on your source data. So that's what you can do in this module of query data. So this query data deals with specifically with this kind of scenarios, like shaping your data basically, or transforming your data. So yeah, so like let me show you the query editor. So suppose uh, I wanted to insert a data source. Like, let me go to this. I wanted to insert this file. Suppose I have a table here, like P6 Amazing Mart U2 Geo. This is an Excel. This is Excel worksheet. So what you will do is like, you will go to the get data, go to the, well, like this, you can see that there are common data sources, or you can go to more also. Once you go to more, so mm, it will fetch. Yeah. So yeah, you can see what are the file system, what are the sources supported here. So you can see file system, the support is whatever the support they have is like Excel, CSV, XML, JSON, every, everything is there. PDF also is there. Pocket is a kind of Hadoop system file format, which is also basically mostly used for analytic based development. So yeah, and once you go to databases, so you can see what other kind of databases it supports out. So it's also all support, like all the kind of relational, post GRE, SQL databases. So many of them are there. Similarly, you can go to Azure. Like in Azure, most of the things they support online services. So like this, you can see, you can explore things like whatever this what kind of data sources they have basically. So you can have a look on that. So yeah, so currently what we have to import is kind of Excel, right? Like so we'll go to the file system, we'll do Excel, and we'll connect. So once you connect, so this comes out. I just open it and just it will see. So whatever the behind the scene, what is happening is like query editor is loading the data. So that is the query editor component has this kind of responsibility. So you can see, I just select what, because there are two seats there, so those two seats can be two tables here. So what I do is like I selected both of them because I wanted to load both of them. So that's how it will work. And if you wanted to load it, you can directly load it. Or if you want to transform data, that's what I said. Like here you can see this part, this query editor. So basically query editor, that's how it helps out you. Like it gives you kind of, if you want to transform it, you just click on this, and yeah, it will open. So yeah, so this see, that's how this query editor opened out for you. So this query editor, what you do is, suppose you wanted to create some other columns based on sales, like you wanted to kind of create a kind of flag, like if sales is greater than some value, like suppose to 1,000 or 10,000 or 20,000, that flag would be 1, or if it is less than that, it will be 0. So I'm just giving a hypothetical situation here, like, so so once you wanted to do this kind of operation, you can create another column. What you can do is kind of uh, here you can go to add column here, like so you can see add column here, and like mm, see conditional column. So once you do that, it will so it will give you conditions here, right? You can see. So you just name it like whatever you wanted to name, and you can give the whatever the column you want on which you wanted. Suppose I wanted to do on sales, so it's like equals. You wanted to be do greater than, or greater than some value 2000 or 200, whatever, and output would be 1. If it add another clause, if you wanted to add it, so that's how, like if else condition you can put it on. This is a kind, so this is very easy, right? Like you don't have to code it all, like if else condition or whatever kind of condition. These conditions things already have in place, so you just need to fill in whatever the condition you wanted to have, and it will do it for you. And once you do okay, so what it does is like this. You can see applied steps here. So that's how it is doing. It has imported from source. It does navigation, promote whatever the headers are there in the seed. It promoted it as a header. So these are default steps what it did when importing the data. And apart from that, whatever the different operation you want to do, it will get added here. So that's how it is being used here. So you can see that you can just focus, focus on this, and like you can explore whatever. See, transpose operations are there, reverse rules operations are there, unpivot, everything is there. Like most of the transformations are there. You don't need to write any code here also. Like you just need to use these features of query data, and you can save your data, transform your data based on your requirement. So that's how it is being used. So yeah, let me close this off. Mm -hmm. Hmm. So yes, so where we are, yeah. So that's how the query editor looks like, and that's how it is like being used. So now let's move up to the relationship view. So this comes into the data modeling. That's what I told. Like yeah, before using any visualization tool, I'll just recommend like you just go ahead and read data dimensional modeling. So dimensional modeling is a kind of pillar for data modeling. So there are different kind of schemas, and what are the purpose of using different schemas? Like there are star schema, there is snowflake schema, different also many more. So what you can do, you can go and read also, like what is the purpose of using star schema, what is denormalization, normalization. So you need to be aware about all this concept before doing this data modeling thing. So and I tell you, like this is the most important part. You're developing any report or whatever, and especially for developers, like who are developing things out from the Power BI, or kind of creating dashboard out of Power BI based on some business use cases. So for them, the most critical part is like how they will do data modeling. So if they are very clear about this data modeling, rest will flow out. That rest you don't need to do anything. You just need to drag and drop things out. So most of your brain would happen to be involved in data modeling task, like how you will model your data. So yeah. So in relationship view is like kind of creating a kind of a relationship between the structures, or you can take tables. So that's how, like what is the relationship between two different entity or two different tables. So that's how is being that's how is being like conveyed through relationship view. So let me show you. I'll show you that also. Mhm. Before that, before showing that relationship view, let me give you a kind of brief, just brief knowledge on star schema. Because most of the time when you will use this data modeling, you will only use, most of the time you will use star schema. So the star schema has a kind of two entity, or two different kind of concept here, you can say, of tables. There are fact tables and dimension table. So the fact tables basically is like a kind of transactional table, and the dimensional table is kind of a metadata table which stores some information, unique information about the facts. So So that's how it is built on. And like this is a architecture of star schema. What it will be in the center of the star schema, there would be a kind of fact table, and revolving around it there would be dimension table. So you can see, you can take an example here. I can take an example here. Like the fact table is a sales table. As I told, the fact table is a transactional table, so it has all the transaction involved in it. So suppose there are transaction like how many units have been sold, total sales, total cost of different product at different date for different customer at different location. So see, you can identify what are the kind of columns which are kind of a number based column, or a kind of information, or a kind of a string based column. So you can see these are kind of string based column, right? Like geo, cust, date, prod. So this could have some information, like this could have also some external information also. So that's how you save your data. Like for these non number based column, or because and these number based columns are called facts, and these are non-number based column, what you have you would have definitely some more information. So what you do is like denormalize normalize your data, and like throw it off to a dimension table. So see, suppose identifier prod here. So identifier prod here has it these kind of information also. I'm not storing these information here, because unnecessary it will create a more redundant table, more redundant table. And that's what that's what you don't need to have. Like like, because if you have a more redundant table, the number of rows will become very large. And once you wanted to do some analytical queries on top of that large number of rows or table, what you will end up in having a very low latent query, sorry, high latent query. Like it will, the response would be very large. So you do this kind of modeling for that sake also itself. Like you do this kind of modeling to eliminate the redundancy, so that your fact tables are like slimmer, and kind of don't have, the queries don't have to scan everything. So that's why these additional columns have been eliminated. If these additional columns would be here, then you need to scan on these columns also, and it will take more time. So that's how see these non-numbers column here, they would have some more information. So we are storing this information in different tables here itself, and those tables are called dimensional table. So that's how a star schema has been placed out. So so let's take an example here, like population combined. Yeah, so population is your fact table, and dimension table is your region, and age table. So so yeah. So so what you will do first, you'll read the data, to query editor, and you can load it on. And once you load it on, what you can do is like so these are certain kind of operations which are there in query editor itself. Like you suppose you are I'm just giving you one scenario here, like how you can also transform, or you can merge, or you can join your table while loading your data. So suppose you have different data, you are importing your data, and if there is some kind of relationship, or you wanted to like concat those data frames, or you can wanted to like just make a kind of compatible table out of those 3 or 4 tables. So there is a very good option of like merged query here. So it is just like perform like a kind of join, like you will be aware, like left join, right join, inner join, so full join. So it's kind of merge is kind of the same, it performs a similar operation of joining. So you, while importing your data, you wanted to have a kind of compatible like a compact table, not compatible, yeah, compact table. So what you can do, you can use this feature of merge queries to join different sources to have a very compact data. So that's how it can be used out. So you can see left, right, full, these are all kind of joins here. And this feature is in query editor itself, which I showed you last time. Yeah. So mhm, mhm. So yeah, we were there at data modeling, right? Like, so how we were here, yeah, data modeling. So relationship view and this data view. So now I can go, like I can show you. So this is like where your data is being stored out once you import the data. So suppose I have imported here 5 tables here, or 5 sources. You can see orders, P6 supply, office supplies, returns, users, and I'll explain about this time dimension afterwards. But yeah, you can see there are a lot of tables and you can view them according to your wishes. Like you can view them, what are the things in this widget, in this part. So, and this is a part of relationship view. So see, I have all these tables, and you can see there is a kind of structure being established here, right? Like orders is being connected to users, orders is being connected to returns, P6 supplies is being connected to users. So you can see there is a cardinality here, like one to many, many to one, this kind of thing, right? Like see one order ID. Just click on this. Once you click on this, you can see order ID is being yeah, order ID of the order table and order ID of returns table. These are basically have a kind of, you can see, one to many relationship. So every returns, every order ID in returns table has many order IDs in orders. So that's like, you can see one here and many here, star here. So it is a kind of one to many relationship. Similarly, you can see kind of region here. Once you scroll here, like region also is there in orders. So one to many relationship is also there from orders to users based on region. So that's how. And see, if you don't know, like if you don't know what is the kind of relationship, so there is a feature also that once you import the data, it will automatically detect the relationship. If your username and or sorry, if your column names are similar in different tables or in different imported sources, so it will automatically detect that and it will create this kind of relationship. But if it does not if it does not automatically detect that, then you have to do it by yourself. So that's how. And see here, this is a kind of one-to-one relationship. I have already showed one to many, many to one. So that's how these three cardinality is covered here. In earlier features of Power BI, basically only three cardinalities were provided, like one to many, many to one, and one to one. The many to many thing was not there, but now they have included that also. So that is a very good update. So because most of the time you will find many to many relationship tables, and that is very important to have. So yeah, you can see, if you want, if you already know that there is a many to many relationship, then you can go here and you can just put it out, like, okay, I know that there is a many to many relationship. I'll select based on what column, and I'll just put it here like that. So that's how you create relationship. So that is your relationship view. That's how it completely looks like. So this is your data model here, data modeling here in Power BI. So after that, once you have developed your, once you've imported your data, you have transformed it, you have received your data based on your requirement, you have modeled your data, and now the final things, what it comes out to, visualization. So after that, you can visualize your data. So visualization part is this one here. You can go here and you can create reports, you can create dashboards, or you can create multiple reports. You can do cross filtering across all the reports, many things you can do. So you can see, just I have just dropped it here, like one of the widgets here, like suppose what I've done is, like, I've selected region and manager on the axis. Let me first, yeah. Hmm. So I have selected a kind of here on an axis region and manager, and values are like of quantity. So it comes out from some table here. So see, quantity, like how many a region would have many quantities of product sold, right? So here also you can see what are the options they provide you for aggregation. So this is basically what this is, kind of summarizing your data, aggregating your data, right? So what we are doing is, like, I have just selected variance. but you can select standard, you can select count, you can select count distinct, you can select maximum also. See, I've selected maximum now, and see how it behaves. Like it changed out, it will change out. Yeah, so it is giving on the maximum out of the west region, the quantity, maximum quantity, central region, east region, south region. Similarly, I can change it out to count or some, or some different thing. So yeah, see, this would get changed. And another very good feature, or you can say like, you can want, if you wanted to drill through or drill down, you can do it like here. See, suppose I have put uh, two different informative columns like region and manager, to drill through or drill down. So yeah, sorry, drill down. So you can see there is a kind of hierarchy here. I'll just go to the first part is for region, and the second part would be for manager. So if I drill down through it, I've just clicked on, wait. Huh. So see, the results comes out for manager. So if you want to add if you want to add one more kind of hierarchy, so you can add one more field, and it will it drill down to that also. So that's how this drill down would happen for you. So for that, you can also create a kind of a hierarchy in the tables itself also. There is a concept of hierarchy there, so that also you can do. So yeah, and similarly the other, so these all visualization comes from here, like here. This is the main part from where you can drag and drop your visualization. So suppose I wanted to drag some cards or KPIs or some, say I'll just drag one card here. So let me drag it here, and I'll just, because card is what, it is a kind of it gives you a kind of scalar value, right? Like, so for scalar value you just need to like put it here. So nothing is coming out because it's not, there is not defined correctly. Mhm. I'll just plot a line chart also here. So, and what you will plot a line chart based on some date, right? So put date here, axis. See, so that's how it works out. Like, uh, see, so based on your dates, it plotted your line chart here. So how easy and how like simple it is. Like, if you wanted to visualize also data, you don't even if you don't want to create reports or whatever, kind of more practical approach. But yeah, if you wanted to just visualize all your data also, or visualize on different dimensions or like different angles, so you can do it very easily here. Like, you don't need to write code every time to do these kind of things. So that's what in machine learning also, once people do EDA, right, like people would explore the data, do find out patterns here, like how the variance is being allocated to different components or different categories. So that's how it is so easy to like place it on, import your data, and just try to find patterns or try to dig it on from onwards here. So like so that's how it is easy. So yeah, so moving ahead from this, so that is your report view which I showed you. So you can say this is your report view, this is your kind of query editor view mode, and where you will have all your tables stored. This is your dimensional modeling view. So these three are the basic components here in Power BI development. So you start with the import, then you do the dimensional modeling, and then you, once this is done, then based on that you do different kind of reports or different kind of widgets, try to use them and try to create a report or whatever. So yeah. Mm. If I'm going some fast, then let me know, because yeah, if you want to understand some more topics. So yeah, so many times there is a misconception. So like query editor versus data model. So a query editor has a kind of functionality to connect to source files and like clean, save your data. means like structure to plus prepare your data. But data modeling is like analyze your data. Like, so I showed, right, like in the earlier slides. Here you can see like aggregation, analyzing, visualizing, right? So that's how this analyzing part is directly comes out from data modeling. So yeah. So yeah, add relationship, add calculated columns, add measures. So yeah, there is one thing, like many people would be confused about this calculated columns and measures. So there is a significant difference between measure and calculated columns. So measures is nothing kind of scalar values. So based on your filters, it will create a kind of scalar value. But calculated columns are not scalar values. It runs through your table, and basically it will calculate for every row in your table. So that's how you can distinguish between them. So yeah. So yeah, so data modeling, I already spoken about cardinality, right? Like the types of relationship, like one to many, many to one, one to one, and many to many. So these cardinality has been provided in in Power BI already. So you can directly use those cardinality to establish relationship between your tables. Another thing is like cross filter direction. This is a very important feature, and this important feature, how it works out is like you can go here and you can check. Like once you do click on this relationship, you'll find a kind of cross filter direction. It is single or both. So currently we have single, means like if anything is being sliced out, or if anything is being selected out from users, then it will filter out the things to or from orders based on the users. But sometime what happens, in many cases, like in many to many relationship also, like what happens is like if you wanted to filter out, like then mm, it should be in bidirectional way. Like if something is being filtered from orders, the same thing should be also filtered out from you, based on the same column, the things should be filtered out from users also. So in that case, it can be only be achieved through this cross filter called both, like bidirectional. So that is the purpose of that. And it most of the time it is useful in many to many and those kind of sort of scenarios. So that's how it will be useful. But yeah, most of the time you will encounter only this single direction filters. That is it is not very rare, but yeah, it's kind of based, it's not very like kind of normal scenario. It's based on some complex scenarios would require that. So yeah. So yeah, active properties is nothing but like you wanted to make this relationship active or not. You would have relationship, but suppose you don't want to make it active also. So that is also there is a kind of property. So what would happen? And see, these are very these happens in very complicated scenarios. Suppose you don't want you don't want some relationships to be active. So what you do what you do is like you made it inactive, and you write some dax queries. If you wanted to calculate some measures without having kind of relationship view or that kind of thing, then you write dax query where you can if it is already disabled this active property, then you can easily like mm, you can generate you can generate major values without using this active relationship also, like using dax. So that's what I mean to say, like without having this relationship also you can generate measures. So it's generate measures and you can make it inactive, uh, because there is a thing is like you cannot have multiple same kind of relationship sometime. So you need to make it inactive in some scenarios. So there is some kind of restriction in Power BI regarding that. So that's why this feature is there. So you can make it inactive, and you can, if you want to write a measure which uses those two tables, you can write as a kind of complicated DAX queries to access those two tables without any relationship also. So yeah. So yeah, this is like an example of one to many and many to one. You can say see like the customers and the orders. So each customer is unique and each customer have multiple orders also. So this is a very straightforward example of one to many. Like this stores a unique customer ID, and this is multiple customer ID with multiple order. So means like each customer can have multiple orders, right? So this is one of the example to understand it. Similarly, this is one to one, like passport and the person. So you know, I think one person generally would have only one passport. So the passport ID and person ID would be like a kind of having one to one relationship. So yeah. So yeah, so two things is very like important in Power BI. One is like this data modeling thing, how you model your data, and another thing is like your knowledge of your DAX. So basically, the Power BI runs through DAX. So you should be very much aware of like how to write DAX queries. So I'll just show you one of the examples like how it works out for DAX. So suppose. mm, mm, So see, this is how you can write DAX. So suppose you can go there, like suppose you can create it kind of dummy table also. And once you've created the dummy table, what you can do is you can go there and like write new measure. Right here you can see there is no measure. So once you do this new measure, you can go there and you can write your measure value, and that can be done through your DAX queries like this. So I've already written one, and I'll show you that. Uh, hmm. So this is one cumulative total. So you can see start with calculate, and like this first part would be your the conditional or the aggregation part, like what you wanted to do, sum, count, distinct count, whatever. And the second and whatever after let's see, calculate as a format. So the first parameter which we will pass is the column or the field you wanted to do aggregation on, and after that these two parts are like a kind of filter part, like what kind of filter you wanted to apply to based on your selection, based on your contextual selection in your visualization tool. So so that's how it works out. So let me show you this example, or we can go to YTD also. So YTD is like year to date. So so I have done a kind of I've added the units with respect to YTD, like how much uh, uh, what is the total or what is the sum of units with respect to year to date value. Suppose I am currently at 23rd 12 December 2020, and I wanted to do whatever the number of units of sales happened from 1st of this year, 1st January of 2022 till 23/12/2020. So that's how this query will do it out for you. So let me show you here. I've already done this. See, so this is YTD values, and this is based on quarter. So quarter, one thing here, you can see that this is not ordered here. Q2, Q3, this should be in a kind of ordered fashion, right? Like QT, initially Q1 should come of 2014, and Q2 of 2014, Q3 of 2014, then 15 should follow out similar. So, but here it is not happening. So how you can do it also? There is a way to do fix it out. So you can go here, and I was doing for yeah. So you go to the timetable. See here quarter Q1. This is not an ordered way. So what you can do is you can create a number column here, which is like 1 2 3 4, and you can sort this quarter based on that number. Here there is sort by column here, right? You just need to give the column name, the newly created column name. You would create a column based on some condition, like q1 means 1, q2 means 2, q3 means 3, q4 means 4. So like this you will create a conditional column here, and once this conditional column is being created, what you can do, you can sort this column quarter by that column, that conditional column, the number column. So, and then if you, that is done, then it will get corrected here. This will come in order. So this is one of the trick. So just wanted to let you know. So here, but it is not coming like that because that I have not done that thing. So what you can see is like that's how it will be in ordered way. So it YTD is like for quarter 2 of 2000 or of 2015 it is 75. Then quarter 3 of 2015 it is 1165 here. So you can see it has increased out, and that's obviously it would happen like that. So that's how I have created a measure. I have put it on based on some different dimensions here, quarter, month, and I wanted to analyze it, the value of the measures, how it fluctuates out, and I've done that. So that's how you'll create most of the things in. So yeah, basically you need to be very if you wanted to create a kind of uh, a complicated, or like not complicated, but yeah, a kind of more practical use cases, then you need to be very aware of DAX. So because DAX is the fundamental language of this toolkit. So you need to be good at DAX for doing this. And if you are good at DAX, then you can do anything in Power BI, basically. So yeah. So see, and I'll now go ahead with some more features of Power BI. So hmm. So one of the disadvantage currently, or you can say not directly, but yeah, indirectly, is like, suppose you wanted to write something out. Suppose what user wanted to do is like uh, you wanted to give a widget here, and you wanted to insert some data into Power BI. So that is not possible. So that is not directly possible, but yeah, it can be done through Power Map. So Power Map is also a Microsoft application, a kind of tool which can directly be integrated to Power BI. So you can create a kind of Power Map application here, and you can feed data into that, and you can use the data in Power BI. So in the next refresh. So that is what. So one of the feature in just like Power BI use DAX queries, Power Map uses M query. There is a different language, this M language. So you can write things out in M in Power Map. Sorry, not Power Map. This uh, mm, this is not Power Map. This is Power App. Sorry, Power App. Power App, a kind of tool. So you can directly integrate. Power Map is a kind of component. So yeah. So yeah, see here you also can see the calculated column is results for each row of your table, and measures would result for single result. Report view. So yes, before that, let me show you one more example of how Power Map is used in Power BI, the Power Map component. So if I have the data or not. 6 power supplies. Let me import the data then. So I have imported it twice, so let me delete it. This is also twice. So let's come to this Hangout. Hangout. Let me close this, then open. Hmm. So Jaya, before it opens out, yeah, we'll talk about like this, like once you have created report, once you have created dashboard, so what you will do then? Okay, yeah, just came out. Hmm. Import the data. See, it automatically detects the relationship also here. Once you see there, we'll go to the dimensional modeling and here data modeling, and then we can see how it is being these list of orders and order breakdown. So this he automatically detected the relationship also based on order ID. Here you can see order ID is being detected. So yeah, let me plot it for a kind of just I wanted to show you some map, power map thing application. So uh, there is uh, hmm. So yeah, this is a map and a list of orders. Yeah, you can see latitude and longitude already there in the data. So you can put the location, lat, sorry, here, latitude and longitude here, and you can see here how it is being shown up here. And then if you wanted to uh, do some kind of tooltip also, then like based on country or based on some cities, You can do it here. So it will automatically pop out. So that's how it looks like for different kind of maps. You can see. So that's how it is distributed, this latitude, longitude of this list of orders. So from where it comes out, this, like, see on a tooltip, it will be your city, at which city it is, because I've added here, right? So see Blackpool, so different cities. So that's how it looks like for a power map kind of application. If you wanted to plot the maps out, like how your data is being distributed spatially, so you wanted to visualize it, and you can do it like this. But you should have latitude and longitude field there. That's essential fields. Then only it will take that as an input, and it will plot it out for you. So yeah, moving from there, like if you have the reports, like suppose here I have the report, and so where I need to publish it out, like as we already spoken, we need to publish it out in a cloud. So Power BI service is there, which is basically hosted at the cloud. So how you can do it, like you can, there is an option called publish here. You go there, publish it out, and then publish to Power BI. Power BI is like Power BI cloud. So yes, save, and then yeah, I wanted to publish to my workspace. So I'll select that. Because already there is one report. So yeah, I need to replace this. Yeah, replace. So yeah, you have already published to, and let's see like where it is and how it looks like. So we will go. So yeah, it comes like this. So this is the view at Power BI service. So you can see. So this is my workspace where I have published the report, and we'll be able to see the report here. Just once it is loaded, you'll be able to see. You can have multiple workspaces based on your community and groups, and like you can share different reports to different workspaces, or and apart from this, like there is also very good features of uh, apart from this, yeah, you can see this report, right? So whatever we have published, once you click on this, it will open for you. Whatever there in my my Power BI desktop file, everything is there. Here you can see, right? So that's how you publish it to the services. And from here you can do many things, like you can share this report, you can send it to your teams, like you can subscribe, whatever, like many options are there based on your requirement and things. So that's how. And if you wanted to see, you go to the data set, because this report would have a data set, right? Like uh, uh, yeah, here you can see. So you can see, because this is a stagnant thing, right now. We don't have because we have imported the data here, and it automatically, whatever the data here, it's send it out to this report, and feels like everything is there. But you need to refresh the data based on your scheduling time, like every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you want. So for that, there is an option here called like uh, and setting also, I think it would be there. So you'll just do like you, but this is a free version, so I think it is not there. But yeah, in pro and premium version, it would be there. You will be able to refresh your data. So, and it will create a kind of scheduler for you, and it will refresh this data set. Because see, this is a report for your file, and this is a data set for your file. This data set contains basically, you can see the type here, data set. So data set contains everything in your report file as a table. So whatever there here as a table, so everything is there in your data set there. And if you want to refresh all these tables, because this is on service cloud, so and your data set is on some on-premise system, then you have to install, that's what, like I told earlier, like you have to install uh, this data management gateway here, uh, this in component, right? Yeah, this data management gateway at your on-premise system where your data resides. So based on that, you need to like do that, and then you need to schedule it out for here, like I need to refresh every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever, or 1 day. So it will start refreshing at the particular time. It gets scheduled, and your data will get your data set will be refreshed every time, and your report will be refreshed every time here. So like that. So yeah, so you just from there, like yeah, so this slides is just tell you about that only, like because see, if I'm a single user, I would have a Power BI desktop. I'll publish to Power BI services and I'll access, and there's Power BI mobile also. So see, there is also some here, like you can create a kind of format also, like for Power BI application, mobile application. So I just need to show you. And yes, here also you can see, if you need more visual apart from this, you can directly import from Microsoft, uh, either from a visual file which we can download from like Google, or you can, some Microsoft community is also there, I think. So app source, yeah. So from there, yeah, here you can see you can you can add multiple visual based on your, if you want some more visual, which is because if you these visuals are not sufficient for you, then you can do it like this, get more visual and like that kind of thing. uh, so yes, so yeah, here you can see I published, and this my report is now residing at Power BI service, which is a cloud-based platform provided by Microsoft. This is hosted, Power BI is hosted, and from there I can give access to anybody if I wanted to give, so they can access my report. Similarly, there's a hierarchy in organization also. Same kind of thing happens there also. So so yeah, and talking about security, like how you will secure your report, or like suppose in an organization there are different members, different people at different sitting at different countries, or some different departments also might be there. So you don't want everybody to see everything, right? You don't want everybody to see everything, any kind of data. So for that, there is a kind of security option also is there. So that is called row level security. So uh, mm, hmm. So you can enable that row level security, and you can create some different kind of rules, and that also require DAX. So that's why I told, like the DAX is most important thing. Like if you want to design some complex rules or complex, so you need to have that kind of expertise on DAX, so that you can write those kind of rules, complicated rules, like conditional rules, some that kind of thing. That okay, this person, this group would have only access to this kind of column data sets, like column value data set. Like suppose one person should have only access to country Iran, or some people should have access to a complete continent, or so that kind of rules being should be designed using DAX. And once the rules are being designed, these row level security rules are designed, you need to attach members to those rules. Like okay, so I will attach members, or groups also. Suppose a group would have 20-30 members, so you'll attach the group itself. Okay, so this group would have only, it will only be able to see your visual or data based on this country data. Like they will not be able to see, Iran people would not be able to see US data. So that's how this thing kind of is being done in Power BI. Like this row level security is being implemented. So you just need to consider that every time. So yeah, these are the things. Like what I'm using is Power BI free. There's Power BI Pro and there's Power BI Premium. So see, talking about the services, there are two things, like Power BI service, which I showed you right now. This is which is hosted in cloud, and this is Power BI service. And there is also Power BI report server. So what happens is, like many companies hesitate to go to the cloud due to some security reasons or that sort of thing. So what for them, Microsoft has given this Power BI services. So Power BI server. So there, they can do is, like they can install this Power BI on some on-premise server, like hosted on some on-premise server, not hosted on some cloud, like Power BI service is, which is being hosted in cloud. So that's how they can access that hosted Power BI servers from their on-premises, and they can use it there. But there are certain limitations for that, like database limitation, like capacity of data, the refresh times, refresh time limitations. And but yeah, the thing is, like you can scale it out. You have need to pay, and you can scale that service across multiple nodes in your system. You can distribute it out. Like it's not like you can have standalone servers and you can like use that only. But what you can do is, like they have given you the provision to scale that application out to multiple nodes. So if you wanted to enhance your performance and you don't want to go with Power BI service which is on cloud, so you can go with that option. So here you can see there are three things, like Power BI free, Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium. Based on these capacities, there are different kind of characteristic they or features, you can call that features they would provide you. Okay, so hello, hello.
Yeah, Rahul. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I dropped out due to
Yeah,
some.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so let me share again. So yes, we were talking about this three different like features they have given, like free, pro, and premium. So basically, they all like relate to your refresh rates, your capacity of the data, which you can like have it on your application, and your storages, your other features, small cosmetic features also are there. So based on your use case or requirement, you can go with that, like Power BI Pro or Power BI Premium. So yeah, you can see this large scale BI deployments all basically needs Power BI Premium. If you don't need this large scale Power BI deployments, then Power BI Pro is like enough for you for small data sets, for like lighter refresh rates. Like so you can go with Power BI Pro. So yeah, so you can see like your Power BI desktop, what you do is, like at your computer you do the development. Once you develop it, like you can publish it to the service, and for refresh you need to have a personal gateway or on-premise gateway based on your thing. Like if you're working from your personal system, then you can have personal gateway, or if you're working from some on-premise server, you can have on-premise gateway installed on your systems from where you are, like it should be installed on those systems where the data source is. So yeah, it's like you can do multiple things. You can create dashboard at services here, like which I showed, right? Like uh, here you can create dashboard also. This is a kind of report, but you can create a dashboard and those kind of things. You can have also multiple I can create multiple pages here that can be different reports, and I can I can give a kind of feature, like I can have a kind of redirection feature here, like I can click on that, I can go multiple reports there. So that's how you can create a kind of redirected based reports also. Like you can click on something and it will go to other reports, and you can view it kind of enlarged property of that feature. So that can also be done in Power BI basically. And yeah, one more thing I would like to highlight, like they have also integrated R and Python here. Like once you insert the data, suppose get data here, you can go to more. So hmm, so let me type it here. So see, you can see Python script here. So what you can do is like if you wanted to have some Python script running at your system, so or you have kind of transformation which requires Python, or even if like you do some kind of if I wanted to do some forecasting also on the fly. Suppose I wanted to do some kind of time series forecasting. So what I can do is like I can read the data from my local source, and like I can do transformation, I can run the algo, and once the algo finished out, and then I can import the data as a yeah, just only thing you have to remind is like it only the data can only be stored as a kind of data frame. So only data frame is accepted. So you have to, at the end of your result of the script, the data frame should be passed out. Means the return of your script should be in a data format, in a pandas data frame format. So that's how it will get downloaded. And every time once you refresh the report, that forecasting can also be being ran out, and then you can get the updated forecasted values also like this. So yeah, this Python script and R script is also there. You can, and yeah, before using this, what you have to do is you have to go to the file, and you have to go to option and setting, go to the options. Uh, it will come out. So these features, you just remember this option and setting, it will give you a lot more things to check out. So you can see here Python R scripting. So here you need to pass where is your Python directory and what is the ID you are using. If there is no ID provided by them, you can put it other, and you can just redirect. You can just browse and then like redirect that part. Suppose you are using Visual Studio or some PyCharm. So you can directly browse it here. Other features you can see on downloading the data, you can suppose I wanted to auto see here, it is checked out, the auto detect new relationship. So if you uncheck this out, it won't detect any new relationship. So that's how these are the some kind of features you can check out. Like suppose you have a date time column in some imported data, then if it is not like enabled, then it cannot automatically detect the date time column, or so you need to be make sure that these are checked out, and these are these so that it will be easier for you to do things there. And apart from this, like one more thing, it is specifically regarding this data modeling thing. So suppose and more suppose you're working with kind of your scenarios where you in a report you wanted to like create a lot of measures, like a lot of measures, and based on some aggregation, So in that kind of scenario, which is not very like common, so what you have to do is a kind of do a very rich data modeling thing, and for that you always need to have a kind of time dimension in your hands. So this time dimension, this is not I have imported, this I have created it myself. So this time dimension would store data like this. Suppose this is the time dim. So it is a kind of same format every time. Date should be there in a data form, in a column, means like date format, year, day, month of day, year, day. So that's how you will create a time dimension. And once you've created the time dimension, what you can do, you can go there, and wherever the date IDs are there, you can just put this relationship with respect to that. You can connect this time dimension to every table wherever the date IDs or date information is there, so that it will be easier for you to write measures related to those tables. Like I wanted to write some measures related to orders, and I wanted to browse it over with respect to some date or month or quarter. So just like I did here, right? What I did is just like the same thing. I created a measure year to date value of unit, and I have tried to visualize it based on quarter and month. So you can see this um, this DAX query basically here. Once you go to this DAX query, uh, uh, orders, where I've written. Hmm. Hmm. So this is a DAX query, and you can see here I have mentioned this time dimension here. So the first part I already told, once wherever you are using this calculate function, the first part would always be your aggregated view, like what you want to aggregate. And the second would be your contextual filters, like so second, third, whatever number of filters you can put it on. So filter I put it on time dimension date. And so that's what these are filters, right? This quarter, month, these are filters. So if I put it the filters here, based on that filter it is calculating this. So if this relationship is not established between these two tables, time dimension and P6 office supplies, then how it will read it off? It cannot, right? So that's why this relationship is so important. And like you need to you need to make sure that whatever you're trying to slice and dice and view, you need to make sure that these things are connected in some way. So that's why this modeling is very important. So yeah, so this is done. Yeah, apart from this, so yeah, I just wanted to summarize things out now. So first thing is like for development, you need Power BI desktop. So you whatever development you have to do is you have to do on Power BI desktop. You need to install it on your local or wherever you're working on. So that you have to do. And other thing is for refresh, you need to have a data management gateway at your sources. Third thing is like uh, after this your report or whatever you have done, the kind of development, you need to publish it on. So you need to publish to the Power BI service or Power BI server. uh, uh, so basically these are two things, like the service is on cloud, which is given by Microsoft, and the other is like Power BI server, which has to be installed on some on-premise server or on-premise systems. And you need to access that, or you need to deploy your report there if you are using Power BI server. So these are the three things. And yeah, you need to learn DAX, because DAX is a language for Power BI. Whatever measures, whatever calculated columns, whatever conditions, so whatever row level security, you need to put it on. Everything has to be done in DAX. So you need to learn DAX, and it is not a very like a difficult language, and it's like very simple. It was earlier used in Excel's back then, and they have developed that same kind of thing as a DAX and Power BI. So it is easy to understand also. It's not like but difficult. But yeah, you need to have command on that. So yeah, I think I'm done. If anybody have any questions or something related to that, I'll be glad to answer.
Yes, you have any questions? Yes, any questions you have? Now, when it comes to that data set, Rahul,
Mhm.
in terms of the orders data set,
Mm.
can you show us in terms of how to actually import that data set and then go about with simple data visualizations for the qualitative as well as the quantitative variables that you have in that data set?
Yes, wait. So let me.
Because the students yesterday they have gone through Tableau, okay, and they will have a session tomorrow also on Tableau,
Mhm.
wherein the basics on the dimensions as well as the measures and what are the various charts which apply to dimensions and the measures has been briefly discussed there also. So if you
Mhm.
can show with the same data set
Mm.
what kind of charts and these dashboards which are there, how you were able to arrive at just for 10 to 15 minutes, that should be fine.
Yeah. So you want me to import the data again, orders, or like just to
If
show?
you can show it once again and then help them out with the basic data visualization methods which are there when it comes to
Okay.
quantitative as well as qualitative data.
Okay. So get data and wait, it is CSV, I think.
So they are familiar with the superstore data. You can take the same thing, no problem.
Okay. So see here one more thing, like uh, orders written. Let me delete this thing and then I'll do it. Or maybe I'll open just another one.
Yesterday also they used the same data set where they were able to discuss on the join functions and then they were able to go forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, basically, let me first. So yeah, I'll just open it and like. So yeah, orders is fine, returns is fine. Yeah, users here, you can see column 1 and column 2 is like header is coming as like downward, right? So we need to do a transformation here. So let me just transform the data. So I'll go to the query editor, just a small thing, and just wanted to show you. So users here, you can see, right, the column 1 and column should be region and manager, but it is coming. So there is already a transformation here. You can see use first row as headers. So you can do this. See, and it added here, right? I just told you. Once you do this, these steps would get applied here. So you can see now regions and managers it here. And after that, you can what you can do is like go home, close and apply, and your data will get loaded here. And see, it automatically detects your relationship. Let me see if it did. Yeah, it did. So it did from users to orders. And is there any relationship between order ID and status? We have to check. So order ID is there. So you can just put it here. You can just try to create a relationship. So yeah, it is there and one too many. So automatically did not detected any relationship between returns and orders. But I see that okay, there is an order ID. Let me just check it out, and we find out there is one too many relationship. So this is how a small modeling has been done. And now for the just for the purpose of this visualization, what I can do, I can put a kind of bar chart here. Just take a bar chart here, and uh, a kind of quantitative fields I can put is like from orders is like, let me see. So see, these are quantitative fields, discount, profit, quantity. So you can see this small widget, right? This summation widget, this tells you these are kind of fact values. So you can use them for your quantitative analysis. So suppose I did profit here, put it in the values here. You have to put these things into values. So you put in values, and now like on what dimension you need to like analyze it on. So suppose you need to analyze it on uh, country or region or user. So or region, I wanted to analyze on region. So see here, it comes out in region. So the profit is a kind of negative for south, and it is kind of positive for east, central, west. So that's how this is being done. So always remember, the axis is your kind of qualitative field on which a kind of dimensions, you can say, on which angle or on which field you wanted to analyze things out, kind of your x-axis. And the quantitative fields would be kind of your y-axis, or just kind of in a conventional manner I'm just saying it out. But yeah, so that's why you have to always put your quantitative fields in values, and uh, quantitative fields in values, and like kind of qualitative fields in axis kind of. So this is one of the thing. And that's what I earlier also pointed out. If you wanted to create hierarchy, suppose I wanted to put manager inside the region would have many managers also, right? So see, I just wanted to drill down. So initially I just went to analyze for region, then I wanted to analyze it for managers within the regions. So see, Erin, Chris, William, Scene. So I can do it like this. So this is also kind of hierarchical structure. If you want to just nest it out, like you wanted to nest things out, right? Like, because many situation you will find out that there is a definite kind of nesting in the data itself. Country, because country, state. So these are kind of by default nesting, right? So you need to analyze those things, and you need to put into a kind of hierarchy, and you can use that hierarchy itself in your access. And always use your values or your things to be fact things into your values. So that's how you need to do it. Apart from this, if you want me to do one more thing, like let me plot some time series thing, right? Or so this now comes out as a kind of access is your manager and profit is your uh, so this is comes as a line chart. If you want to put it on based on your some date column, suppose order date. So put it order date in your access. Remove region, remove manager. So see, so if for a date like 1 to 35, how this is fluctuating, this profit. So you can see the fluctuation or kind of variance, or so those stuff you can analyze it easily. You can also have different kind of these kind of charts like what is the contribution of different orders based on regions. Like I'll say I'll take sales as a values, and I wanted to analyze it based on some returns or status. Let me put status details. So yeah, out of that only very small percent, 2.27% is returned. Most of them are not returned. So that's how you can analyze, or based on managers. Let me put in details. You can see Erin has this kind of percentage of sales. William has this percentage of sales. So that's how you can do it. Like always remember the values field always will be your kind of uh, fact-based columns, like which contain some facts or which contain some numbers, and other things like access details. This would have only your perspective on which you wanted to visualize things. Your like day, some some string column based values, so that kind of stuff.
And there is one a menu called as modeling.
Yes.
Can you just brief on that part?
Yeah, so that's what I was speaking about, right? Like most of the times this modeling is like the data modeling. So see, let me simplify these things. Like you once you import the data, right? Now once you import the data, they will be in the form of tables. So in also earlier when we have a uh, database architecture or kind of data warehouse, the first of all what has been done is like you need to model your database, the database in a kind of normalized fashion, so that your redundancy of the data is being reduced. So doing that modeling, you need to give a structure to your data. So that's how it is done here. Like the structure is being given here, like the relationship basically. So this relationship says all like how this table is connected to this table, and how this table is connected to this table. And this feature is called, how it is connected is like one to many, many to one, one to one, many to many. This feature is called cardinality. So so that's how you connect these different tables. And connecting these tables is very important, because once you not connect the tables, there will be no flow of information. And if there is no flow of information, you will not be able to do this kind of hierarchical thing, or you can give the access differently. And because if there is no structure, if there is no relationship, how will the tool automatically realize things out? How the tools will filter the data from one table to another table? So that's how it is very important to decide on this modeling, like which tables is being connected on what terms and what forms. So you need to be very precise about this.
Thank you, Rahul.
Am I clear to you? Like
Yeah.
any doubts? Yeah.
And any other doubts?
So just remember, this is a kind of flow of information from one table to another. It helps in filtering things out.
And one last question. When it comes to this real-time data,
Yeah. There is an option called Power BI streaming datasets, which you cannot find in Power BI desktop. You need to go to this here, like here, and I think here there would be some option. Uh, there would be some option, manage dataset or something. Uh, I think it would be in Pro because this is a free one, so I think it is not appearing. But yeah, I'll just point it out to you. Like this Power BI streaming data set. That is the concept. So this real-time streaming in Power BI is being achieved through this. So what you can do, you can have multiple IoT devices, right? Like linked or some this kind of scenario happens most of the time. There are multiple sensors data you're receiving or some kind of data every millisecond or seconds, whatever. So this is being uh, uh, this is being what do you call that? Uh, this is being architect by using this Power BI data streaming thing. So what it will do, it will have multiple APIs also, push, pub, nub, like this kind of thing. So it will on the real time basis, it will push the data to your Power BI streaming data set and then pull the data. So it will be very real time and it will be within fractions of second. Everything will be displayed there.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank
So this feature is there.
Guys, we'll take one last question. If you have any questions. Okay, it's my honor and privilege, Rahul, to propose.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, as a business analyst, when we are joining any firm, do they expect us to know the DAX, or without having DAX knowledge, can we do visualizations? Is learning DAX important?
See, visualization you can do without learning DAX, but the thing is like because there should be a minimal knowledge of DAX, because without without having that minimal knowledge, you will be feeling like handicapped in Power BI. So that's what a kind of basic knowledge should definitely be there. What I suppose, not very enhanced knowledge or kind of writing very complicated DAX queries, but yeah, a simpler DAX queries you need to be aware of, I believe.
Sir, like in certain courses, what we see online, they don't give importance to DAX, no, sir. So, do you recommend any source where we can try to acquire this knowledge on DAX?
SQL BI is a kind of blog. SQL BI, my Macro Russell, I think, is the owner, or he runs out that. So basically, this platform you can use, and they have very simplified versions of queries also. So so you can use this thing, SQLBI.com, to learn this, and they have very good examples. You can learn it easily. There's like, and not very good, very complicated examples also they have. Like if you wanted to dig in, you can dig in very like in depth. So this SQLBI.com.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions before we go for vote of thanks? So it's my honor and privilege to propose vote of thanks. We are gathered here on this August occasion of 9th day of AI Conclave 2020 to celebrate the gift of wisdom. And on behalf of the Institute, faculty members, students, I take this opportunity to thank our today's resource person, Mr. Rahul Kumar, data scientist at Ericsson, who was kind enough to accept our invitation and spend his valuable time today. I also like to thank our principal, Dr. CPS Prakash, and our head of the department, Dr. KG Hemlata, for their constant support. And I would like to thank all the faculty members and students of DSI for participating in this event. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for
ma'am.
your
Yeah.
time for us. Thank you very much. I hope we will be having a long-term association with you, and our students are eager to learn from you a lot. So I know that you are very good in deep learnings. Maybe we will be having a next session with you on deep learning later, maybe in the month of January.
Yeah,
for
sure.
the semester.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Rahul.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.